So dog digs in backyard and finds something that changes his owner's life. Sometimes, life's greatest surprises come when you least expect them. This is the incredible story of Max, a lovable golden retriever, and how his curiosity led to a life-changing discovery. It was an ordinary Saturday afternoon, and Sarah, a young woman with a passion for gardening, spent her weekend tending to her flowers while Max explored the backyard. The air was filled with the scent of blooming roses, and the sound of birds chirping created a peaceful atmosphere. As Sarah carefully arranged her garden tools, she noticed Max sniffing intensely near an old oak tree. His ears perked up, and his tail wagged excitedly. Before Sarah could react, Max began digging furiously, sending dirt flying in all directions. At first, Sarah assumed Max had found a buried bone, or perhaps a forgotten toy, but his persistence intrigued her. She walked over, brushing her hands on her gardening apron, and watched as Max unearthed something hard and metallic. Kneeling beside him, she gently cleared the dirt away and discovered a rusty metal box, its hinges corroded with age and its lock barely holding together. Her heart raced with curiosity as she grabbed a nearby trowel and carefully pried the box open. What she found inside took her breath away. The contents of the box seemed to belong to another era, a collection of old photographs, yellowed letters, and a weathered leather pouch. Sarah's hands trembled as she examined the delicate items, realizing she was holding pieces of someone's forgotten past. The photographs depicted a young couple from the 1940s, their faces beaming with joy in black and white snapshots. The letters, written in elegant cursive, spoke of love, war, and separation, their words still vivid despite the passage of time. Among the treasures, the leather pouch felt particularly significant. Opening the pouch, Sarah discovered old coins, a gold locket, and an engagement ring that sparkled as if untouched by time. The craftsmanship of the ring suggested it was a cherished possession, and Sarah couldn't help but wonder about the people connected to these precious items. The letters revealed a poignant story of a young soldier named James and his beloved fiancée Evelyn, who had promised to wait for him through the uncertainties of war. Each letter was filled with longing, hope, and unwavering love that defied the miles and dangers separating them. Driven by a deep sense of curiosity and responsibility, Sarah decided to learn more about the lives behind these keepsakes. She visited the town's historical society, where she met Mr. Thompson, an elderly historian with a passion for uncovering forgotten stories. Fascinated by the relics, Mr. Thompson agreed to help trace their origins. He examined the dates on the letters and compared them to old town records and historical documents. His dedication to preserving the past was evident as he meticulously searched through dusty ledgers and fragile archives. "These letters, they tell a remarkable story," Mr. Thompson said, adjusting his glasses. "Let me see what I can find in our archives." His determination gave Sarah hope that the mystery of the couple's past would be uncovered. Days turned into weeks as Sarah and Mr. Thompson pieced together the puzzle. Their research led them to discover that James Walters, a Wadawatu veteran, had lived in Sarah's house decades ago. His story was both heartbreaking and inspiring. He had written the letters while stationed overseas, pouring his heart into every word, hoping they would reach Evelyn. But war had a way of scattering lives and memories, leaving stories like theirs lost in time. Determined to learn the full story, Sarah tracked down James Walters, now in his 90s, living in a nearby nursing home. With hope and anticipation, she arranged a meeting, bringing Max along. Somehow, Max seemed to sense the significance of the moment. His gentle eyes reflected the depth of the connection that was about to be rekindled. When Sarah presented the old box to James, his eyes widened with recognition, and tears filled his eyes. His hands, though frail, held the box as if it were the most precious thing in the world. Memories long buried surged back to him, vivid as if no time had passed. "I never thought I'd see this again," James whispered, his voice trembling with emotion. "It belonged to my late wife, Evelyn. We buried it before I went to war, as a promise that I'd return." His voice faltered, overcome by the powerful emotions tied to the items. James shared the bittersweet tale of love, loss, and resilience. He spoke of the war that had kept them apart and the hope that had kept them connected. Though life had taken them on separate paths, The box symbolized a bond that had endured despite time and distance. His stories painted a vivid picture of their lives, of dances under starlit skies, letters exchanged with trembling hands, and promises whispered in the dark. What started as a dog's playful digging turned into a journey through history, forging a beautiful friendship between Sarah, Max, and James. Max's discovery didn't just uncover the past, it brought new meaning to Sarah's life. She continued visiting James regularly, sharing stories and creating new memories together. Sometimes, destiny works in the most unexpected ways. And for Sarah and Max, one ordinary afternoon became the beginning of an extraordinary story that would be cherished forever. Through the power of connection and the magic of discovery, their lives were forever intertwined by a treasure buried in time.